She was supposed to be the hero. For 2 seasons, Rhaenyra Targaryen has been the wronged queen. The woman cheated out of her birthright. The mother who lost her son and chose restraint when everyone around her demanded blood. Fans rallied behind her. They defended her choices. They wore her name like a badge. But something is coming in Season 3 that is going to change everything. Because the Rhaenyra you think you know, she's about to disappear. And what takes her place is something far darker, far more desperate, and far more dangerous than any villain the Greens have ever put forward. History remembers her by a different name. Not the Realm's Delight, not the rightful queen. They called her Rhaenyra the Cruel. And this season, we're finally going to see why. Season 3 is officially confirmed for a June 2026 premiere. Filming wrapped after a grueling 7-month shoot.
I've totally forgotten what I have to say because there's so much rain all over
my face, yeah.
The showrunner is calling it Total War. And behind the scenes, something even more dramatic is happening. The creator of this entire world, George R.R. Martin himself, has turned against the show. So what exactly is coming? How does Rhaenyra go from sympathetic queen to the most hated woman in Westeros? And why is the man who invented this story now saying, "This is not my story any longer"? Let's break all of it down. Before we get into the story, let's talk about where things stand with production. Principal photography kicked off on March 21, 2025, at Leavesden Studios in Watford, England, the same facility where they shot the Harry Potter films. The shoot was split into 2 separate units. The fire unit filmed on location in Surrey, sweeping fields, valleys, forests. The blood unit stayed anchored at Leavesden, working on massive standing sets, including the streets of King's Landing, the town of Tumbleton, and the interior of Corlys Valerian's flagship. After 7 straight months, production officially wrapped in late October 2025. The season will be 8 episodes. Ryan Condal has made one thing clear about the pacing. His exact words? This season represents total war. No more slow burns. No more chess moves. Industry reports put the per-episode cost well above $20 million. And that number has only gone up to accommodate the sheer scale of continuous dragon combat. Before we can talk about where Rhaenyra is going, we need to remember where she's been. Season 2 ended without the massive battle fans were expecting. Instead, it gave us a series of quiet betrayals and desperate alliances that set the stage for total collapse. King Aegon II, burned beyond recognition at the Battle of Rook's Rest, was smuggled out of King's Landing by Larys Strong. Alicent Hightower traveled secretly to Dragonstone and made a deal with Rhaenyra. She would leave the gates of King's Landing undefended, but Aegon's head had to be taken. And Rhaenyra spent the season building her aerial advantage, recruiting the bastard dragon riders Hugh Hammer and Ulf the White, giving her control of Vermithor and Silverwing. By the final frame, every army on the continent was marching. But Season 2 frustrated a lot of people. Critics gave it a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score dropped. Fans complained about the glacial pacing. They were furious that Daemon spent practically the entire season trapped in Harrenhal, having repetitive hallucinations. The premiere drew 7.8 million viewers on opening night, a 22% decline from the 10 million who watched the series debut. Season 3 doesn't just need to deliver. It needs to win people back. Now we get to the heart of it. How does Rhaenyra, the woman the show has spent 2 seasons positioning as the hero, become the monster history remembers? It starts with a victory that turns into a trap. Season 3 will almost certainly open with the fall of King's Landing. Rhaenyra takes the Iron Throne. For one brief shining moment, she's won. But the Greens didn't leave her a kingdom. They left her a shell. Before abandoning the capital, the Green Council emptied the royal treasury. 3/4 of the crown's gold was spirited away to Old Town, Casterly Rock, and the Iron Bank of Bravos. Rhaenyra sits the Iron Throne, but the coffers beneath her are completely dry. And this is where the cruelty begins. Not from malice, from desperation. To fund the war, her Master of Coin implements devastating taxes, a property tax that hits everyone, wealthy merchants and beggars alike. The doubling of taxes on wine and ale. The tripling of port fees and city gate tolls. Innkeepers forced to pay a daily silver stag for every bed. Merchant ships trapped by the Valerian blockade hit with massive tariffs, and any captain who can't pay has his vessel seized on the spot. Rhaenyra orders daily executions of suspected Green loyalists at the Dragon Pit. The small folk are charged 3 pennies each to watch traitors get beheaded before the corpses are fed to the Queen's dragons. She establishes something called the Knights Inquisitor, a paramilitary force that hunts down traitors and spies. Tyland Lannister, the man who helped hide the gold, is blinded, gelded, and mutilated to force him to reveal where the money went. The people stop calling her the Realm's Delight. They give her a new title, King Maegor with Teats, and it only gets worse from there. If the taxes and executions crack Rhaenyra's moral foundation, the betrayals shatter it completely. Those bastard dragon riders she recruited, Hugh Hammer and Ulf the White, they turn on her. At the First Battle of Tumbleton, they defect to the green side mid-battle. They turn Vermithor and Silverwing against the very army they marched alongside that morning. The betrayal breaks something inside Rhaenyra. She orders the immediate arrest and execution of every remaining dragon seed, including Adam Valerian, the loyal young rider who has done nothing wrong.
I wish to ask for leave to relinquish my part as a shipwright in your service. There are good men and strong who can take my place.
Lord Corlys Valerian, her most powerful ally, secretly warns Adam to flee. Rhaenyra throws Corlys into the dungeons, and the Valerian fleet, the backbone of her entire military operation, abandons her cause. Just like that, her naval dominance vanishes. Then comes the moment that sets the entire city on fire. Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen, the gentle, traumatized woman beloved by the common people, throws herself from her window in the Red Keep. Whether Rhaenyra had anything to do with it is irrelevant. The rumors spread instantly. A one-handed fanatic known as the Shepherd whips the starving population into a frenzy. Tens of thousands storm the Dragon Pit. They slaughter 5 chained dragons in a single night of apocalyptic violence. And during the chaos, Rhaenyra's own son, Prince Joffrey, mounts her dragon Syrax in a desperate attempt to save his own dragon from the mob. Syrax throws him from the saddle mid-flight. He falls to his death. In one night, Rhaenyra loses her dragons, her city, and her child. Meanwhile, Sir Criston Cole, the Kingmaker, the man who crowned Aegon and set this entire war in motion, finds himself trapped in the Riverlands. His army of 3,600 men is starving, demoralized, and cut off. The Riverlords set a devastating ambush. Cole tries to negotiate. He challenges them to single combat, but Pate of Longleaf refuses. "I'll have no songs about how brave you died, Kingmaker. There's tens of thousands dead on your account." 3 arrows hit Cole simultaneously: neck, breast, belly. The slaughter of his leaderless army is so total that it's named the Butcher's Ball. No honor, no glory, no songs. Now, everything I just described comes from fire and blood. But the man who drew that map is no longer guiding the journey. George R.R. Martin published a blistering blog post critiquing Condell's decision to remove Prince Maelor from the show entirely. In the book, Maelor's death drives Helaena to suicide, which triggers the riots, which destroys the dragons. It's a chain reaction. Remove one link and the whole thing collapses. Martin's warning was direct. There are larger and more toxic butterflies to come if House of the Dragon goes ahead with some of the changes being contemplated for seasons 3 and 4. The post was deleted within 24 hours, reportedly at the urgent request of HBO executives. But the damage was done. By early 2026, Martin allegedly declared, "This is not my story any longer." Condell responded diplomatically, defending the realities of television production. "This is unprecedented. The creator of a source material publicly turning against his own adaptation while it's still in production. The war is expanding." Benjamin Evan Ainsworth joins as Prince Daeron Targaryen, the youngest son of Alicent and Viserys, who rides the blue dragon Tessarion. James Norton plays Lord Ormond Hightower. Tommy Flanagan is Roddy the Ruin, the fierce leader of the Winter Wolves. The entire surviving primary cast is returning: Emma Darcy, Matt Smith, Olivia Cook, Tom Glencarney, Ewan Mitchell. Emma Darcy has teased Matt Smith's energy this season. Until the moment the camera rolls, he's stalking the room. There's something of the caged animal about him. After spending all of Season 2 trapped in Harrenhal, Daemon is heading toward his legendary final confrontation with Aemond above the God's Eye. Condal has confirmed this will be a 4-season show wrapping by 2028. Every remaining episode matters. Here's the truth about Rhaenyra the Cruel. She doesn't become a monster because she wants to. She becomes one because the war demands it. Every tax she levies is because the Greens stole her treasury.
Your Grace, we must away!
Every execution she orders is because she's surrounded by traitors. Every paranoid decision she makes comes from watching the people she trusted most turn their dragons against her own soldiers. That's what makes this story so devastating. It's not a fall from grace, it's a corruption by circumstance. A woman who wanted to be the rightful queen, crushed under the weight of actually ruling in wartime, until the person she becomes is unrecognizable from the person she was. And that transformation, from the realm's delight to King Maegor with teats, is what Season 3 is built to deliver. The question is whether Ryan Condal can pull it off without the man who wrote the story standing behind him. June 2026, Total War, Rhaenyra the Cruel. What do you think? Can Season 3 redeem the franchise? Share your thoughts in the comments below, like and subscribe, and click the next video on your screen now for another interesting story.